The Beatles' historic first U.S. concert, A Photo Journey. On February 11, 1964, the Beatles performed their first concert in the United States. 2 days prior, the iconic British band made their American television debut on The Ed Sullivan Show, captivating the nation and igniting a wave of fan excitement. Upon arrival at JFK Airport, the Beatles encountered over 3,000 exuberant fans, whose fervor nearly reached riotous levels. Following their New York performance, the Beatles traveled to Washington, D.C., where they performed to a packed house at the Washington Coliseum. The Beatles on the train to Washington, D.C. The Beatles were so excited to be madly popular in America, they were going to fly down from New York, but a big snowstorm hit Washington and they took the train. All kinds of funny things happened on the train. They were behaving for the camera. Ringo carried some camera bags and worked his way through the coach. They were strangers in a new land, enjoying that kind of fresh experience. A touching moment occurred when a young fan met Ringo, leading to a memorable and endearing conversation. Cynthia Lennon, wife of John Lennon, wore a black wig and dark glasses and seated herself in a separate compartment to evade press attention. On February 11, 1964, the Beatles arrived in Washington, D.C., where at the train station, a crowd of 3,000 teenagers surged toward the 20-foot-high wrought iron gate leading to the platform. The band and their entourage checked into the Shoreham Hotel, securing the entire 7th floor to avoid fans. When one family refused to relocate, the hotel staff responded by cutting off the hot water, electricity, and central heating, citing a power failure as the reason for the forced move. Following their arrival, they held a press conference before visiting WWDC, the first U.S. radio station to play a Beatles record. That evening, the Beatles performed at the Washington Coliseum, a venue originally designed for boxing. Upon their arrival at the Coliseum, they conducted another press conference. This concert occurred during the height of Beatlemania, a phenomenon that had exploded almost overnight. The single, I Want to Hold Your Hand, had quickly ascended to the top of the U.S. charts the previous December, selling over 5 million copies within 7 weeks. Shortly after, She Loves You, a hit in the UK, also achieved #1 status in the United States. Carol James, a DJ from Washington, D.C., was instrumental in introducing I Want to Hold Your Hand to American radio, further fueling the band's popularity in the capital. The performance at the now-defunct Washington Coliseum was a groundbreaking event, though markedly different from the more refined rock concerts that would emerge in the following years. Beatles trying to get through the crowds at their show at the Washington Coliseum. Poor amplification and the overwhelming volume of the audience's cheers made the band's music difficult to hear. Positioned centrally among the audience, the band had to frequently move their equipment to face different sections of the crowd, a task that was particularly challenging for drummer Ringo Starr, who had to reposition his large drum kit multiple times. Despite these challenges, the crowd's enthusiasm remained unabated. After opening acts the Caravellas Tommy Roe and the Chiffons, the Beatles delivered a set list that included Roll Over Beethoven, From Me to You, I Saw Her Standing There, This Boy, All My Loving, I Want to Be Your Man, Please Please Me, Till There Was You, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Twist and Shout, and Long Tall Sally. Following a report in a New York newspaper about the Beatles' fondness for jelly beans, numerous fans showered the band with the candy. Candid photographs capture the excitement of young fans at the Beatles' first concert in America, Washington, D.C., 1964. Following the concert, the Beatles attended a reception at the British Embassy hosted by Lady Ormsby Gore. During the event, they distributed raffle prizes, including signed copies of Meet the Beatles, at a dance benefiting the National Association for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, and interacted with the guests. The band left the event in frustration after a guest surreptitiously cut a lock of Ringo's hair from behind his left ear. The Beatles departed and instructed Brian Epstein never to subject them to such an experience again. Their appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show had solidified their status as global stars, leading to a return tour across the United States later that summer, where they performed at larger venues. The Beatles' success in America marked the beginning of the British invasion, inspiring other British artists, such as the Rolling Stones and the Kinks, to achieve similar success in the U.S. A ticket stub from this historic concert, donated to the National Museum of American History by longtime D.C. resident Patricia Mink, serves as a significant artifact from this transformative period in American pop culture. Along with other memorabilia, including concert programs, autographs, and recordings, Ms. Mink's donation helps preserve and convey the story of this pivotal moment in music history.